Hello, welcome everyone to our first ACC race, league race, season one. This is going to be our first race, and I don't know, this is a new start for us. Today we'll be doing Misano, um, and I guess we'll go on a hot lap around it to give you a feel of what this track is all about. Well, that was an amazing lap around this track. It was done by our very own Ghost. He's quite quick and mostly also known as ACC God. Sorry about the background noise. Today with us we have Adil Chinoy, Nomo Propi, and Ninja Zero. Guys, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So Adil and Propi, what do you guys think about today's race?
Well, it's the first ever ACC league race for IRC, so it's a huge transition and a huge day for the community. So I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. And given that it's the first race, new stage for all of these drivers, uh, we don't really know what the pecking order is. I'm sure I really haven't spectated the practice sessions, so we don't know what the pecking order is. So that level of excitement is that much more because we don't know what the order is going to be come the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. And just for an information, our drivers were doing a 30-minute practice session before we jumped on to our stream. Right now, everyone will be waiting for a quali session. We have a 15 minutes quali session followed by a 40 minutes race. So right now, drivers will be getting ready for the quali session that is gonna unfold soon.
Yep, I actually was under the impression Amit would be quite far ahead of some of the other drivers. But I think Prakhar did whip him in the fastest lap for practice. Might be wrong, but it's going to be turning out to be a very exciting day. A lot of pro drivers.
Yep. And like looking at the driver pecking order, I feel that as Casey suggested, that Ghost is one of the ACC gods here. So it will be really fun to see how Prakhar, Amit Kutti, and Ghost go in a battle in this race today.
So Casey, what do you know about the different cars people are driving? Do you know anything about the pros and cons of, let's say, Amit's Audi versus Prakhar's GTR or Gryphus's 458 or 488? What cars are people in today?
So I'm not quite sure about the cars and the performance difference, but every car surely has a different feel to it. So it's all about how you feel, how much you feel comfortable with the car. So everybody's gone with the car they feel is more suited to their driving style. So it's only fast if you are comfortable with it. So as we can as we go down, we can see what cars people have selected. I think Ghost is in the Aston Martin.
Yep,
Even a
he's in
Okay.
Bentley.
Aston Martin.
Ghost is in a
Yeah.
Bentley.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, Bentley. Okay.
It's in the Continental GT racing. Yeah, that is a traditionally a very heavy car.
Oh yeah.
But I have no idea how it performs on GT perspective, so I think we're going to find out.
The all I know is that the Ferrari feels a little more oversteery. Bentley feels much more like not too oversteery, not too understeery, but it's like a balanced car. It is quite heavy, but it still feels a lot more balanced. That's the only two car I'm quite sure about.
Yeah. I'm surprised to not see any Porsches on the grid.
As far as I know, in this game, like the car that you pick has a very big impact on like what times you can put in. So I think people did not go for the Porsche because of the nature of the car, I suppose. I
It seems like the car is a bit how do I say it, a snappy. So not a lot of people find it quite comfortable with that car. So I guess that's what we are seeing today. Nobody picking up that Porsche.
Interesting to know. What do you think about Richie Gyan's switch? And everyone who is not familiar with Richie Gyan, he is one of our senior most members in the community. He helps us. If you've heard him in the podcast, you will know how much he knows about racing. So his understanding of the sport will probably help him quite a bit in this scenario. What do you think about his decision in picking the Lexus?
Now I don't know about how good Nexus will perform, but I think Gyan, who also is known as Babaji, is also very good at this game. I'd say he's right below Ghost and Myth, to be precise. So he knows what he's doing for sure.
Let's just have a look at the timing sheets till now, what our drivers have been doing. So we can see that the pole position currently is taken by Amit Kurti, who has set the best first, second as well as third sector times and doing a total lap time of 1:35.7. Following Amit Kurti is Ghost, who is around 6 tenths slower than Amit Kurti at the moment. And then we have A Chaudhary and followed by the Real ST and then washing powder Nirma. Other people have to still set a time. Gryphus sets a time of 140 just now. So it's
As we see that Amit is just starting a flying lap as he goes into turn one.
yep, I am on board with him. Mara, why don't you take away?
I'm not familiar with the circuit, but let's just go through it turn by turn. This Audi seems to be quite quick in a straight line from what I've heard. Maybe Casey can keep me honest here. But this Audi certainly is a very strong car in a straight line, and it does have a tendency to be understeery at times, but Amit seems to be having no problem, probably running a very, very strong setup. He's an experienced sim racer on all platforms. So he certainly is keeping it. It looks like a very conservative lap so far. He's not using too many of the curbs yet. I'm not really sure if this is going to count as one of his hot laps, but maybe it's just a track acclimatization phase for him.
So what I've noticed is generally drivers they go out on a certain amount of fuel and they keep doing laps. Conversely to F1 where we generally tend to go out on the least amount of fuel and the freshest tires as we can to get that time. But here generally the drivers will just go out and keep doing lap after lap after lap trying to improve their time.
Yeah.
Casey, what is your strategy? Because we all know that you also drive, you also play Assetto Corsa ACC. So, what is your strategy in quali?
For quali, I think first is the setup. If you do not have a setup, I think the aggressive setup is the one you go for. Second is the fuel load. I mean, you don't want to do more than maybe 4 laps because Tyrese is not that aggressive in quali, but it still can maybe lose you some tenths. So I guess about 15 liters of fuel is how where you start, so you can get around maybe 4 or 5 laps in. And I suppose the practice time is fastest time is what we'll probably also see for quali.
And do you like tend to take a very less amount of fuel and then go out for a quali, or do you take a full tank or something and then go out on a quali?
A full tank is not a good idea in quali. I think about 15 liters is more than enough, I'd say, to do half the quali for the first half maybe.
As we say that Kapil Bharat, or as you know him, Kapil Ace, is now on track in the Mercedes AMG. He hasn't set a lap yet, but I think he was a little late to quali, but hopefully he's not late across the track. He certainly is another driver who follows all forms of motorsport. So when it comes to strategies and when it comes to actual race performance, Kapil is expectedly going to be quite strong, even if he hasn't gotten to grips with the Formula 1 game just yet. Let's see if his new T300 pays dividends for ACC.
Yeah. When you were saying that, I was just spectating drivers who tend to missed his braking point and ran wide on one of his not laps. Right now, I think Kapil has just started his not lap on his Mercedes AMG. So let's see what he can pull out of this car.
Yeah, he immediately jumps up to 5th on his first run, but I assume that's not going to be his last. So yeah, definite room for improvement.
Let's just have a look on the time sheets again to see if anyone has improved on their time. Still, Amit Kutti is leading with a 135.3, followed by Ghost, who is 135.9. He did improve from his previous time, but he is still 6 tenths off Amit Kutti's time. Then followed by A. Chaudhary, then Prakhar Vats. A. Chaudhary setting the fastest second sector time, so he might be looking for feisty at least top 1, 2, 3 by the end of the session as well.
Yep. I just want to take a moment to appreciate Griffiths' livery today. Completely paying respects to the name and the nature of our community. So, kudos to him.
Yep, it's completely and it looks beautiful as well. You know, it's not that bad. Orange and green mixture is a really good combination.
At the end of the day, it's a Ferrari. It's gonna look good. And it's one of the most beautiful Ferraris ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you also one more info I missed about on the race? Even though these car can go for the full 40 minutes with a full tank of fuel, but we have put out in the rules that a mandatory pit stop is necessary. So all the drivers have to pit at least once, no matter how much fuel or what damage they have. If they have no damage, then also they have to pit at least once and get a tire change. For that matter, in the for the at least for once in the full length of the race.
Right.
So
That's actually going to shake things up quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely, because before drivers would be planning to go on a full tank, and you know, once they are out, they will be like, you know, I will complete the full race with this only without pitting. But now, since that pit thing is there, so the drivers would be like, okay, should I take half the tank, 1/4 the tank, 3/4 the tank? When should I pit? Should I pit 1/4 distance, half distance, 3/4 distance? So that will bring out a lot of strategy change in for the race.
Yep, certainly. I just want to call out Kapil is on another flying lap. He's on not really, I think he's on his third lap. He was over 2.5 tenths up, but I think he made a mistake in sector two, which cost him quite a bit of time, and I think he's not going to improve on this lap. He's over a tenth down. So that's a shame.
I
But
think
yeah, go ahead.
I think he will start another hot lap. I see a lot of people going into the pits. Casey, what do you think? Are they going for a low fuel run, or are they done with the quali?
I think they may have more fuel for maybe at least a lap. So I guess the first two laps were probably just um, practicing and getting the grips of it. So I think there's one more lap for sure. It's for Kapil at least, and the people behind him.
So how much?
Go ahead.
So how much time do you think like it takes on an out lap? Do they do it slow in this game as well, or do they go like normal pace even on their out lap? Casey.
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I think it's okay to go on a normal pace lap, like not too quick, but not too slow either, to like get the tires warmed up. Because we know that the warming up the tires is not quite as easy as the Formula One cars. Since we have the speed to do it within half a lap in Formula One, but in ACC I don't think that's quite possible. So you kind of may have to push it to the limits in some corner to quickly get the temperatures up before you even start a lap.
Yeah. The little bit that I have driven GT cars, I think what most drivers do during warm up is that they probably drive in sort of like an ascending mode. They start off easy and drive quicker and quicker and quicker throughout quali because that's the only way to actually build confidence and understand the amount of grip your tires have. So you can expect a lot of drivers to keep on improving through the session because I'm pretty sure they aren't leaning on their tires completely. And as we say that Ghost has a minor moment off track, I think he saves it, but yeah, a bit of a hot and mouth moment.
So right now, Amit Kutti is really strong up there. He has improved by 3 tenths more on his previous best time, and we are almost nearing the end of our quali. Only 30 seconds left. So this will be probably the last second lap that Amit Kutti will put in.
Yeah, but I just want to appreciate there's just about a second from P2 right down to P7, and it's not normal that you see such a small gap in the first race of a new league.
Yep, and I think Amit Kutti is done with his session. He just broke his personal best and went to 134.851. And I think he's satisfied with his time. That's why he hopped on to the inside the pits, not going for another.
I just want to say Prakhar was over 3 tenths up on his lap and he completely botched the final corner, ran extremely wide and lost the entire advantage. So he certainly will not be happy with that one corner.
Yeah. So I guess that is it for this session, and a couple of drivers might improve, but we have Amit Kutti on the top with 134.8, followed by Ghost, who is a second down with a 135.9, followed by A Chaudhary, who is 136.3, and then Kapil Ace 136.6. People are very close from P3 to P6, I guess. Yes, P6. So it will be a good, interesting race to watch.
Yeah, in fact, if Prakhar had put in that last corner optimally, he probably would have jumped all the way up ahead of Kapil. So costly mistake. Let's see if he can capitalize his race trip.
Yeah.
Well, he has 40 minutes to make up for those 3 tenths loss, so it'll be an interesting race.
We're already looking forward to it. So the cars are on the grid and the session will start in about 1 minute.
Yep. So this.
Amit put in a fabulous lap. I mean, a second quicker than everybody. That shows how much experience he has. I mean, he does ACC, he does iRacing, he also does Automobilista too, I guess, and that shows that all that experience he has is definitely giving him an edge.
certainly. For those of you who don't know, Amit has actually won several professional esports GT racing competitions and on multiple platforms on iRacing, Project Cars. So he certainly is a born sim racer, and I hope he becomes a professional racer as well. But but let's just never forget the journey started here in IRC.
Also, Casey, in this 1 minute or 1 minute 15 second that drivers had, what do the drivers do in this? They set up their fuel.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So, what do the drivers do in this 1 minute of waiting period before the formation lap starts?
Yes. So I think they can, the things that they can do. I think they can modify all of the setup changes. They can also, I guess that's about it. They can choose what tires they want. They can also see what they wanna add in their pit stop, maybe fuel or the tires or whatever things they want. I guess that's about it in the beginning phase of this,
Yep.
and they get ready for, I guess, the lights out. The
Yeah, and Ghost gets the initial jump on Amit, but Amit has the line into turn one. Ghost goes down the inside, but I think Amit has the run on him and secures that P1. So interesting battle for the lead already.
And A. Chakrabarti is trying to go on the inside of Ghost and makes the move stick.
What a start by Kapil. He's already up to P2. He's gotten past the Bentley of Ghost, and once he holds that position, he's going to try going
seems
after
like
the out.
Chaudhary got an absolutely amazing exit out of the corner, and he's probably gonna challenge Kapil. Goes down the inside. Oh, and it touches, makes contact with Kapil. That's really bad for Kapil. That's not. He's He's dropping down all the way down to the grid, down of the grid order. That's not what you want on the lap one.
Yep. H.
That is a shame, especially after having such a strong start.
Right now, up front, Ghost is looking feisty behind S. Mason.
Scene, I think.
I hope they don't have damage, because that's going to ruin their race strategy, and it's only going to get worse for them.
It looked like a minor tap on the rear, so I hope that it's not a big damage. But again, that minor tap was enough to send Kapil on a spin.
And here we see Ghost trying to attack Basin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm really sorry for that. But yeah, with Shubham Das right behind him. I think Ghost got the inside line, and yeah, he's overtaken.
Sorry, Casey, to interrupt you, but I think Ghost, has picked up a drive-through penalty.
Oh, do we know what for?
I think it was the incorrect position on the start. Could be wrong, but we wait for confirmation from him post-race.
Yeah, it clearly shows that he has a drive-through on the, just beside his name. So right now, Amit Kutti has just flown past everyone, and he has a gap of, I guess, 4 seconds to Ghost at the current moment.
The Ghost certainly wouldn't have liked to be caught up in that battle in the first few laps.
Right now the field has spaced out a bit. Gyan and Basin are having a fight. Basin seems to be struggling a lot. Is it because he has some kind of a damage, or what do you think?
Maybe he's not used to the fuel load. Could be. So Gyan, who also known as Babaji, is absolutely on the attack on Basin, and I think he gets a better exit over there.
Yep, he went down the
And
inside.
Yeah, and he's almost about. He has overtaken him before even the corner arrives. That's a good move.
The space left by both drivers over there was commendable. They were on opposite ends of the circuit.
Yeah, we can see Basin taking a better line in that corner. catching up to Gyan. Will he jump down the inside? Oh, yes, he is going to go for that dive, and yeah, he gets that overtake done
Oh,
on Babaji.
Ricky
Oh,
makes
and
a
Babaji, I think gets caught out, and Chaudhary is going to overtake him. This is not
Ricky
going well
lined
for
up.
Babaji.
Just lined up that last corner was an optimal to say the least. I think he was more on the grass than the circuit.
Babaji cuts a little bit of corner over there. I hope he does not get a penalty for that.
Yeah, definitely not.
This is a very good battle, going on for P4, I guess. Yeah, P3. No, P4, yes.
This is going to be a huge straight and a quick right-hander. Babaji go down the inside before even the corner arrives. He's looking for it. And he backs out a bit, trying to keep it a little safe. The car in front goes wide. Babaji is catching up to him slowly, but not quite able to make the move.
Meanwhile, as we see, Amit Kutti has already created a gap of around 5 seconds, I would say 6 seconds, to Host, who is running second at the moment. I think Host went inside the pits for his drive. Yep.
So I think what happened was, I guess he was out of formation, so you have to keep the double file formation before the lights go out. So I guess he may have missed it out a bit, may have overtaken somebody by mistake. Since the car are ghosted, it's quite easy to overspeed and go through somebody else.
Babaji was really wide, probably carrying 2 minutes speed on that corner.
Yeah.
Let's switch to the on-track cameras. Maybe the helicopter view. Oh yes, that's much
Kapil
better.
has already fought his way up. He's made about 4 overtakes to fight his way back up to 6th and about to latch onto the train of Chaudhary and Babaji or Richie or whatever you like to call him. So it's slowly becoming a 4-way battle once the pack catches the Ferrari of BC.
Kapil is on a charge.
I'm looking forward to some good dive bombs from Kapil. Please do not disappoint us.
He's already looking racy on the back of Babaji or Richie. Oh, and he taps the rear of the Lexus. He slows down. Great sportsmanship from Kapil.
Somehow Babaji is not sent spinning around. That's a good thing for now.
That's it.
But Kapil just getting a very good exit out of those couple of corners. Babaji not able to capitalize those corners.
If you see how well he's hooking up the corners, that shows how much how driving style matters.
Yep. And as we say that Babaji goes wide on that corner, and that gave Kapil an easy overtake there.
Yeah, it does look like Babaji is suffering a bit in terms of wheel to wheel or falling off the car close behind, because we have seen some mistakes in those conditions. Yeah, just something he may need to work on as the season progresses, because I'm sure the area of improvement, considering it's a new league, will be very, very steep.
And right now, Chaudhary and Besin were in a battle. They went side by side through a couple of corners, but right now Chaudhary has pulled up quite a considerable gap from Besin. Babaji and Kapil still going at it. Babaji went down the inside in the previous corner and got the move done on Kapil.
But seeing that, Babaji goes a little wide, does not get a good exit out of those two corners. Kapil gets the inside line, hooks it up properly and gets a better exit, I guess. Yes, he does, and he's overtaken Babaji.
How much do you think the slipstream comes into effect in these GT cars?
It slowly gets better if the straights are too long, but not in the straights that Misano has. It
Yeah.
does not quite matter in these cars.
You really have to be hooked onto the diffuser of the car in front to actually get
Yes.
the advantage of slipstream.
So yeah, it's all about getting a better exit than the other guy. That's what counts.
All this fighting between Kapil and Babaji is helping Dreyfus, who is slowly catching up to these two people, who might be looking for a move on them soon as well.
Yep. What do you think the pit window will be for these drivers today?
Yeah, again, it depends on how much fuel they started on with. As I said, that some drivers might have gone for, okay, I will carry 1/4 of the fuel and I will pit at 1/4 distance and I will push for the beginning 1/4 race. But then at the towards the end, I will cruise. And some drivers would have gone for completely opposite. Thinking to push in the last couple of laps rather than in the beginning. So it's not at all like how in F1 we have a fixed, okay, softs can run this much, mediums can run this much.
What's the gap between the first and the second place?
It's 8 seconds.
So
I think the only
is
two drivers with the experience of Amit are probably Ghost and Kapil, and they have had some bad luck at the start, opening few laps.
Babaji is also sticking well with Kapil. He's not letting Kapil just fly off. He's right there, rear of Kapil.
Do you think Kapil has any damage? Because I am and as you say that Babaji goes extremely wide, but do you think Kapil picked up any damage from the knock he received earlier in the race?
possible, but hard to tell really.
Yeah. Since it was a minor tap, I doubt that he has any damage, but we can never say. We can't see their in-game telemetry what they are seeing. Actually, I think we can.
So Casey, we do see that different drivers are running different ABS and DC settings. Some are using a higher ABS, some are using a higher DC. How much of an effect does that have on pace and tire wear?
So ABS and traction are really good for conserving tires, but also during the race pace, it's not quite easy to get that throttle in control. So you might spin the car. So it's better to use traction and ABS all the time. There are also engine modes like mappings. For a lot of cars have 1 to 10, some have 1 to 3. So you can play between these all the time during the race to get the balance on depending on where you are at what stage of the race you want to use what mode. So a slower engine mode will give you a lot of fuel saving, but then you gotta plan it right to use that fuel later.
As we say that Basin runs a bit wide, and Kapil being the opportunist that he is, completely pounces on into fourth position.
Yeah. So Kapil is gaining a lot of positions continuously, and Mason is falling back. Something to note is Babaji has also lost a couple of seconds to Kapil there.
Yeah, definitely. Where do you think? What are your predictions for the top three today?
I would say Hamid Kutti hands down will be up there on the top. I think Kapil and SD stand a chance, but we cannot rule out Ghost as well, who is right now making a move on Prakarwats, diving on the inside, and he is up to P10. Casey, what do you think about the predictions?
Yes, Amit definitely. I think he's going to win today. Second, I think SD, if he keeps it clean, he definitely is going to be second. And third, I think it could be Kapil. I have some I have hopes on him.
Let's see if Casey has single-handedly put the commentators first on to one of the coordinators of this league.
He's also my teammate in F1, so
Basin goes really wide there, and Babaji capitalizes on that. No, he was not able to capitalize on that. My bad. So we have 26 more minutes of this race left. How many laps do you think KC they will be able to do? Any idea on the number of laps we are looking for? KC, you there?
Yeah, on that point, I do see a number above every driver name. I'm guessing that's the fuel load.
No, that's the ping.
Ah.
That's the ping to our server that these people have.
It would have been interesting if we could see the fuel load that all the cars are running, because that would be really useful.
Yeah, I think we cannot see the fuel load. We can see the ABS and the traction settings that our drivers are running at.
Yeah, certainly.
Oh, Babaji loses it. He went too much on the curb and that just bounced his car up, and he has spun around, and Gryphus as well as washing powder Habib, who is also known Habib in this race, will take advantage of Babaji diving into the pits for his mandatory pit stop as well.
Things going from bad to worse for the Renault driver, with Lexus driver, sorry.
Some of the car icons, the car logos, the manufacturer logos are really small. It's difficult to identify which logo it is, unless it's, Ferrari is very prominent. From far away you can see.
That is, I think that logo is not that's not one that's going to be confused ever.
Yeah. So right now Kapil is on a charge to catch the top 3 runners. Meanwhile, A. Chaudhary has also closed the gap to around a second to the real SD, who is again around 13 seconds behind Amit Kurti. So Amit Kurti is just flying off from the pack.
Yeah. One point to note: on A. Chaudhary's Ankit, right? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. But he is lapping faster than Kapil right now. Kapil's last lap was 1:37.365, where Chaudhary's was 1:37.2. So it is going to be quite, and he does put in 1:37. Let's see what Kapil's lap time is. 1:36.9. So now Kapil has finally put his foot down.
Yeah.
But that gap is just about flirting with that 4-second mark. It's not really dropping too much.
Yeah, and when we were, as you were talking about Kapil and A. Chaudhary, the real estate went in for his mandatory pit stop. So he came out P8 at the moment. He's still in the pits, getting his tire changed probably. So yeah, now he has left the pits. He will be coming out of the pits, probably P9 or P10. No, actually Prakhar also has pitted for his mandatory pit stop. So everyone is pitting around the middle mark, considering it is a 40-minute race. So everyone thought of pitting after 20 minutes or so, 18 minutes or so of this race.
It'll be interesting to see where SD comes out. It looks like he's going to come out in P9 or P8, just crucially ahead of Freeman in P9.
Yep.
Otherwise, he could have been held up significantly and possibly lost a lot of space to Chaudhary, who hasn't pitted just yet.
Yeah. What do you think Chaudhary and Kapil are going to pit? I think Kapil might be looking to pit at the same time as Chaudhary pits in, maybe to prevent him from undercutting or overcutting. But again, there is traffic behind, so if you pit, you are taking a risk of coming out behind someone who might slow your pace down.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for Chaudhary, because he does seem to be handling the pace of Kapil quite well. He's pulled out 6/10 in that last lap, so maybe that was a mistake we didn't catch by Kapil. But and the gap now is almost 5 seconds. So I think he is safe from the undercut or the overcut range of the Mercedes AMG driver.
Yeah, true. Right now, Ghost is looking feisty on the tail of Habib, also known as washing powder Nirma in his pink color car. Ghost is having a bit of high ping, but in his Bentley is looking to go on the inside of washing powder. He's getting a very good line and a very good exit out of that previous corner. Almost on the rear tires of washing powder, going side by side on the outsides.
I have to say, a very interesting choice of car by Nirma, because that car hasn't historically performed well in recent, or hasn't, not historically, but hasn't performed too well in recent events. I think it is down in terms of straight line speed and may not be the best car in corners either. So Ghost is being held up a lot, but as we say that, he goes down the inside and secures P6.
Yep. And I think it will be really difficult for washing powder Nirma to catch back to Ghost. He is just flying off away from him.
We are at the halfway mark, still a way to go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it looks like Freeman has jumped Dreyfus in the. Sorry, not Freeman.
Yep,
Yeah, I think Freeman has jumped Dreyfus in the pit.
Yeah, Dreyfus and Freeman, yeah, both of them pitted, and I think that Freeman had a quicker pit stop compared to Dreyfus. Maybe Freeman went for minimal changes rather than Dreyfus going for a tire and probably some kind of repair on the car as well.
It'll be interesting to see the pace of the two cars now, because it'll give us some indication as to the tire compounds and fuel loads that Dreyfus and Freeman are running.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
in GT
Go
cars they don't have different tire compounds, so there is just dry and wets. So both will be probably on dry tires. As we say that Dreyfus is gaining, about to make a move. Seems like he has much more straight line speed compared to Freeman.
Funny that they have straight line speed and they're in a Ferrari, but as we say, shit happens.
Yeah.
Ghost has taken advantage of this battle and caught right. Oh, and Freeman goes wide and Ghost goes through.
Yep.
Freeman has an issue. I think he has a puncture.
Does he?
He's going very, very, very slowly. I don't know what the issue is. Or was he letting lap cars past? I think he was letting lap cars past.
Yep.
I mean, lead lap cars past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, Kapil is in for his pit stop along with Prakhar Woods as well. So Kapil will come out soon. It will be interesting to watch where he comes out, because right now he is still stagnant in the pits. Probably a lot of damage that he got in the first lap after his incident. He has started to exit the pits now, along with Prakhar Woods on side by side exiting out of the pits.
So 17 minutes of the race to go. How have you been enjoying it so far, bro?
Actually, this is one of my, this is probably the first or the second time I'm spectating an ACC race, and Prakhar pulls out to the left side. I am not sure why.
I think he may be retiring from the session. He's gone back to the pits.
Yeah.
I do hope everything is okay. But it does look like he is calling it a day. Could be wrong. I hope not. Love to see more of that lovely cherry red Nissan GTR.
Yep. Seems like.
And he has retired from the session.
He has retired from the session. So right now on the grid, Amit Kurti, who is 17 seconds clear of H. Chaudhary. Right now Basin is in for his pit, so he will probably come out around P7, P8 behind Kapil. P3 is surprisingly taken up by Ghost at the moment. So he is going up chasing for the top 3 finishes.
I don't think Ghost is pitted yet, has he?
He did serve his drive-through, but I'm not sure whether that counts as a pit or not. Apart from that, I don't think so. He has gone into the pits. Right now, Ghost is still 20 seconds behind A. Chaudhary, who is in fact 18 seconds behind Amit Kutti. Following this, top three people are Gryphus and Freeman. They are lapped currently. Then in fourth position we have SD, who is still 34 seconds behind Ghost. So the field has quite spaced out.
What do you feel is the? I'm unaware, but what do you think is the pit stop window for these cars?
Again, as I said, like if you carry full fuel, you can go the distance. But since we have made a rule that you have to do a mandatory pit stop, we saw many drivers go into the pits on the halfway point, just to balance it out. But some drivers, like I think Amit Kutti, he pitted in when 17 or 18 minutes were left of the race, so a little bit more towards the end. And I guess if Ghost has to still go into the pits, he will probably go towards the end. Will try to cover up whatever time he has lost because of his drive-through.
Yeah. Funny thing is, Kapil is losing a lot of time on his Delta. I think he may have he's having a tough time getting his tires into the right window, or he may be running too much fuel because he's losing time even on the straights.
Interesting, maybe possible. He is currently in 5th position.
Yeah, I just was watching him through the final corner, and even though it was,
as we say that, both the drivers, Ghost and Chaudhary, have dived in for their pit stop. So 3rd and 4th place finishers both dived into the pits. But Kapil Bharat could overtake only Chaudhary in the pits. Ghost is still ahead of Kapil.
Yeah. I think there are only 30 minutes of the race left. So that's only going to be around 8-9 laps.
Probably even less than that.
Sorry, about 7 to 8 laps, yeah.
Yeah, 7 to 8 laps, yeah.
My maths is terrible, apologies. But yeah, I don't think that Kapil has the ability or the time left to actually make up any positions. But maybe the one battle we will see is Ghost and SD.
Yeah, because Ghost would have come out with a much lower fuel load and much fresher tires if he went for the tire change, and that would really, help him close the gap, and he is closing the gap. It is now, Delta is now 4.3, 4.2. Every corner he is gaining like a tenth on the realistic.
Yep, definitely. He is the ACC god for a reason.
Yeah. A couple of lapped cars also will be coming soon for the realistic, but they are pretty far away at the moment, so he can drive/defend against Ghost.
Yeah, let me see if we have any drivers in the VC we can talk to. Who's having a relatively easy race we can pull into the commentary box?
Gryphus, he is currently 20 seconds clear, both from front as well as behind.
Sure. So let's pull him into the commentary channel.
Yeah.
So hello Gryphus, how quick race update from you. Thought we get a quick race update from you since you are in some clean air and we aren't really intruding on any battles right now.
Yes, right guys. So I messed up my pit stop like completely. I was there for like 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what we saw, that someone overtook you even in the pits.
Yeah, because I was going forward and coming back. Like I was P6 when I pit, and I was doing very well. I think Richie spun out, Babaji spun out. So I was in P6. but then I don't know how to do pit stop in this game. So
Definitely,
so
everyone
the
is
first
learning.
race,
I did not have any damage, but still it repaired my suspension and repaired my bodywork for no reason. Although I did not have any damage, so I lost all the time. That I would have been P7 right now if not for
that's a
that.
shame. Do you think you have the scope of making up any positions on even catching up the 20 seconds on Rima, or is the delta just a little too much?
I believe I can. Let's see. Trying to push in like as I say that I completely mess it up, but yeah, I think I can if he messes it up because he messed it up like twice before pit stops. So I do believe that I can catch him up, but let's see.
Yeah.
We'll try my best.
There's been a lot of discussion on the particular car selection for different drivers. What drove you to select the Ferrari?
I'm a huge Ferrari fan, and from what I've seen, it's like very easy to handle. So you can like I'll try to make the best of the handling, although it lacks straight line speed, I believe. So
It's a Ferrari, that's
being
no
for
surprise.
Ferrari fan, I just want to see Ferrari win. In my, I don't think it's possible in my hand. Did you notice that P6 has a dive-through penalty?
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
Cutting through
Just now seeing that.
that, I think is a good sign for me, I believe. So
You
let's see.
are 38 seconds behind him, so I will leave you to it. Best of luck. Hope to
Sure.
see a few overtakes from you this race.
Thank you. Good commentary, guys.
Yep, bye.
Right now, Ghost has closed up the gap to the real SD and he is not on the tail of the real SD. What do you think? Like, I think that the pit stop that Ghost did really helped him, you know, like the way he's gaining on the real SD. Every lap he was gaining like a 5/10 or something. As I say that, he comes very close to the back of the real SD, almost touched it. But just avoided it.
If I'm being honest, I would have no problem following that Aston Martin because it is a beautiful looking car. I think it's on the V8 Vantage body, but either way, slight side topic about me fangirling Aston Martin for a second. But
The real SD goes really wide. Ghost does a switchback move to get back to that position. Both
there
are
is
going.
slight contact between the two drivers.
Ghost having the inside line, but he has to slow down that much to be able to go side by side. Ghost gets the move done. I think SD won't be able to catch Ghost, seeing how much pace Ghost is having now after the pit
Yeah.
stop.
You can just see Ghost having so much more confidence on his tires than SD. So I think that's done and dusted. But we can never count the real SD out. We all know he's a stellar race car driver. So
One thing,
you never know.
One thing I noticed was the real SD gained, Kapil gained a lot of time when these two people were fighting. Before the fight, he was like 8 seconds behind these two people, but now he's 4. And he's again closing the gap to the real SD, just as we saw Ghost close the gap to the real SD.
8 minutes to go. Will we see a comeback from the Mercedes boy? Only time will tell, I guess. He's actually caught up over 4/10 in the last sector.
Yep, I think it's gonna happen. We are gonna see, you know, last 2 minutes race finish. Position change, sorry.
Certainly. Oh my god, he's really pulling like a train right now. At the rate he's pulling, I think he may be catching up on Ghost as well.
Yeah, that
The
might
gap
be
is.
possible.
I don't know if that's possible given the time left, but game on, folks.
And you know, A. Chaudhary is just sitting there behind, you know, waiting for the front runners to make some kind of a mistake so that he can hop on to and get the position. He's just 1 second behind Kapil.
As we say that, I think Babaji has dived in for his drive-through. And let's see if he comes out ahead or behind of Gryfus, because this was what Gryfus was saying would help him gain one position. It's 9 seconds as the pit lane exit line comes up. Will he get under the power early enough? It's a short run up to turn 1. Look in his rearview mirror, and he is out clean ahead of Gryfus. So let's see if Gryfus has the pace on him to catch up the 8 seconds, 8.5 seconds.
Yeah. Right now, A. Chaudhary has closed the gap to 0.5 seconds to Kapil. So instead of Kapil having to attack ST, he has to now think about defending against Chaudhary.
Well, the best form of defense would be to put a car between him and H. Chaudhary. So
Yeah.
let's see what he can. Because now he's closed in a second in the past 2 laps. So if he can keep H. Chaudhary at bay for, and let's face it, it's not as easy to overtake with such wide cars.
That is very much true. But A. Chaudhary seems to be getting very good exits out of the corners compared to Kapil.
And he's late on the brakes. Are his tires in just a better condition?
But nevertheless, these two people are catching on to the real SD even with the fighting going on between them. Now the gap is only 2.3 seconds to the real SD. I think the real SD is gonna suffer pitting in that early in this session. I think he was one of the first top runners to pit.
Oh, Chaudhary comes so close to the rear of Kapil's car. The proximity arrow is a deep red for a while, but yeah, things are heating up.
Yeah. And his radio guy would be like, you know, car to the left, car to the right. And he has to concentrate on top of that to chase the real SD when his radio guy is shouting in his ears, car to the left, car to the right.
It looks like Kapil's getting a little flustered by the car behind because the previous lap he didn't have the pace advantage on ST that he has had over the past couple of laps. He probably needs to just put his head down, focus on the car in front, and have faith in his raw pace.
Yep.
Because we all know what he's capable of doing.
Definitely. Right now, Amit could be going through some traffic. He just now took over Gryphus as well.
Amit's having a very Hamilton-like race. His only worry is Bono mixed tires gone out, but apart from that, it's easy, smooth sailings for the very, very talented Audi driver. It's a privilege to watch him race, especially in this format and in this type of cars.
Now the battle for third is on. All the cars within 1 second. A. Chaudhary brakes really late, goes really wide there into the corner, gives some breathing space to Kapil, and he will be now hunting Shubham Das, ST.
This is exactly what Kapil needed because now he will not be taking compromise lines into. It looks like H. Chaudhary may have roughed up him or not done his front tires any good because he's lost half a second to that pack in the last 2 corners.
Yep. Him running wide really hurt him. I think he was going for the late break, but maybe misjudged his braking point a bit more, and that just helped and that just sent him out.
Yeah. As ST makes a mistake, Kapil does a switchback and down the inside. What I got that on from the tail cam, and that was a pleasure to watch.
Yep, I also caught it on the tail cam as well as Kapil was trying to gain on the real SD. Now I think it will be difficult for the real SD to get back that position, and A. Chaudhary has 3 minutes to get his act sorted and, you know, try to make a move on the real SD.
Certainly. I'm trying to find the fastest lap of all the drivers. Where can I actually see that?
I think in the timetable.
Oh right, I can just see that. I can just see that on the driver itself.
Yeah, on all the drivers once you go, you can see. So
Kapil's-
Freeman,
Yeah.
being a gentleman and giving the way to the lap cars, the leaders.
The second fastest driver on track is actually A. Chaudhary. He is now caught up to the back of Shubham. I mean, after Amit, the second fastest driver is A. Chaudhary. He's done fastest lap of 136.0. Amit is the only driver in the 135s, but A. Chaudhary is catching Shubham Das very, very fast, and I'm not really sure if Shubham will be able to do anything to keep the fellow Aston driver behind. Oh, there's a huge collision. That was a little aggressive from Chaudhary, and he lets Shubham go. this has great. These drivers have great sportsmanship and
Yep.
are actual
Definitely.
role models for fresh league racers all around. So
Yeah.
great. Kudos to Chaudhary for doing that. I
Yeah.
just hope both drivers escape scot damage though.
Yep. Because I think it was a very optimistic late braking by A. Chaudhary diving on the inside and taking both the car wide. So, great sportsmanship to just hand back the position and maybe try another go on this.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the F1 race, but War Vortex did something very similar for uh, Mountain. I think it was in the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yep.
It just shows that like the respect between drivers in this league are uh, is respectable.
Yep, definitely. Right now he is right on the rear of the real SD, trying to look on the inside, late braking again on the outside.
He seems to have made a botch of that, but SD will not let go of the inside. He knows how crucial it is, and he has retained it, and rightfully so. He's retained his position.
Yeah, only 30 seconds left in the session. H. Chaudhary missing all
It
his
look,
braking points and going really wide into all the
honestly,
corners.
Leaders on final lap.
it looks like the drivers are just. Sorry, Chaudhary just heated up his front brakes a bit too much with those late braking maneuvers. He may want to move his brake passages more towards the rear
Yeah,
because you do see him finding rotation to be a bit of an issue at this point.
Amit Kutti will cross the line and that will bring an end to this session. Right now it's 7:11 p.m. on the track, so the track is definitely evolved from 3 o'clock the track time which we started at, which was hot in the afternoon, to evening time. The track would have cooled down a bit, and I'm pretty sure drivers would have adapted to that temperature.
At this level, when I say this level, as I say that Amit has a bit of a loosey goosey on the back end there, but and he keeps it clean. How much of a difference do you feel track temps make to these drivers, or is it just the fact that they find it difficult or easy to heat their tires up?
I feel that it will make a difference, same as in F1, because again the tires have to be at an optimal temperature to work, to have that grip on the track. Too much hot, too much heat, and they will not have the grip. Too cold, and they will again not have that grip. So
I think we missed the move, but Ch- uh, Chaudhary has managed to pass SD. Uh,
The leader has finished the race.
Unfortunate Shubham could not hang on, but as we say that, Amit comes across the line to win the first ever ACC race in IRC. It's been a pleasure to watch him drive today, and he really led the charge from start to finish. There was never a doubt for a
yep,
second as to who was going to be victorious today.
as we go
Ghost had
Yep, as we
uh,
go on board with Ghost, who is about to cross the line. Amazing race by him, coming from almost the last of the grid after the drive-through penalty he got to finish in second. Then to cross the line will be Kapil, who had an incident in his first lap, but did manage to come third, finishing up our top three.
certainly, I think Ghost and Kapil are competing for driver of the day here for me. Who would you give it to if on today's performance?
I would give it to Ghost, considering that he came from last to almost last to the first second in the after this race.
Yep. As we see that Ghost is not happy with penalties. Kapil dropped on P5 on penalties. Shubham retains P2. Okay, this has shaken up the grid quite significantly. I'm gonna go to the overall timetables to see what the final order is.
Actually, in
Uh,
timetables, it's not showing. It's still showing that Kapil finished third.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Let me get confirmation on the final results, and I will be right back, folks.
Yep.
Uh,
And that's it for the race for today. We will soon have our podium finishers uh, here for interview while Mara figures out who were the actual top three finishers after the penalties were in. Uh, it was a really exciting race today. Uh, the first ever IRC ACC league. There was everything to watch in today's race. There
Uh,
was overtaking. There was
yeah.
last to first. Yeah, Mera.
Sorry, I just got a crucial confirmation on the penalties. It seemed to be just a glitch on my screen. It did finish Amit first, Go second, and Kapil finishing up the final spot on that podium. We have Amit and Kapil here with us. We'll try and get Ghost into. I'm just going to drag him to the commentary box as well.
Yep.
So we have all three drivers. Let's start with the race winner. Congratulations, Amit, winning the first ever race. IRC ACC race. How was it for you? Was it lonely? Did you have to remind your race engineer to do you rehydrate?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Manelo. It was a good race, but it was quite lonely, I guess. Qualifying was really nice. The final lap which I had was really good, and had a good setup as well. It was like almost perfect. And in the race, it was a similar case. I got the lead in the start, a good start. Almost got overtaken on the outside though in turn 4 or something. But after that, I think Ghost got a penalty for I'm not sure why, but he got one. And
Yep.
yeah, because of that, I didn't really. I mean, he was the only one who was kind of matching my pace, so it was such a shame that he had a penalty. So other than that, it was a really good race.
Yeah, but congratulations to you. Extremely dominant performance from start to finish. Is this one of your stronger tracks, or do you expect yourself to be equally dominant and equally, uh, let's say, ahead of the other drivers in the other tracks to come?
I actually, I'm not sure. Like, I pretty much learned it like before the practice session, like half an hour before. So like, I wouldn't say it's a nice track. That's all I can say. I haven't driven much here.
Well, either his track suits you or you suit it. Either way, congratulations. Moving on to our P2 driver who just dropped off. Let's move on to Couple for a quick
Was
point on his race. Congratulations, Couple. You are one of our contenders for driver of the day. Both
thank
you
you.
and both you and Ghost had a couple of incidents at the start. Ghost
Yes, we
having a
did.
drive through, you having a slight spin. Walk us through your race start. Walk us through your first few laps, the incident, and your mindset after that.
Race start was interesting because the rolling start is completely luck based. I mean, you can get a good position before the start. Sometimes you lose out. But I had a pretty good start, and Ghost was unfortunate not to have a good start. So I was attacking him into sector one itself, which was like great in until the start of sector two, where I was almost three wide with Arjit on my left and Baba on my right. Or was that Ghost? I'm not too. Yeah, I believe it must have been Ghost. And well, I have to look back at the footage, but from my eyes, it looked like Arjit missed his breaking point. I mean, I tried to give him as much space as possible, but simply wasn't enough because he was just skating off the track, which resulted in a collision between the two of us, and we like dropped down the tail of the field.
Coming to the quali, we observed that you joined in a bit late. So, do you think that hampered your position after the quali, or would you have expected to finish somewhere in the same position?
Um, I would have liked to finish one position higher. So starting little late, that was not an issue. My real issue was underfilling the car too much. So when I started my last flying lap, before the end of sector one itself, I ran out of fuel.
Uh, so, probably if you would have put in that extra, a bit more fuel, you would have expected to go a
Maybe
bit.
here, so yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully.
And how was the car? While you were driving Mercedes, like, is it good for this track? Does it suit the track?
Well, the time trials on the leaderboard in the world leaderboards definitely say that it is a good car. People have been doing 32 twos and 32 threes, so there's nothing wrong with the car. Yeah, I mean, I chose this car purely because of the sound. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, as even if I have a bad race, I can enjoy the sound of the car for the rest of the race, and that's enough for me.
Yep.
I think you've spoken quite a bit about the Mercedes. In fact, you tried to get me to ACC by using the Mercedes engine as one of the key selling points.
Yep.
Um, anyway, um,
I
Amit, what was your decision behind using the Audi, if I may ask?
Like always, I've been using the Ferrari, but like I like the handling of the Audi. It's really nice in slow speed corners. When I first played ACC, that's what I tried as well. I would have gone for Ferrari, but like I've driven it so many times, it's boring now. So like I just decided to use Audi.
Okay, that's great too. I mean, do you think there are quicker cars out there? Because I was actually looking forward to hearing Ghost's um, reasoning behind choosing the Bentley. It is a bigger car, so you can imagine it would be a little less maneuverable in the tight corners, which Misano has plenty of. What do
Yeah,
you think
even
of
I
his
was
decision?
surprised with him choosing the Bentley actually.
Do you think you're going to switch that up for the next race?
You can't.
You can't,
Oh,
yeah.
That's why he
okay.
chose the Bentley.
Strict rules, strict rules. Okay then. Thank you all, folks. That's all from me. Propi, Casey, do you have any further questions for the two of the three podium drivers today?
Nah, I don't think so. It would have been good if Ghost was also here, wanted to get to know his experience coming from last to second. But anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in for the first ever IRC League race on ACC. We will be coming back to you again next week on Thursday at the same time, 8:30, with the same rules.